Now I've shown you how to set your sales goals so that they're done the right way and they're correlated to your income goals, because you're only as good as your 1099. And I want to put theory into practice. And this is Nathan Frank on my team, otherwise known as Nate. Nate, in his first year, made $50,000. This year, we want to double that. And so we want to figure out how much you need to sell this year going forward so that you'll make at least $100,000. And everything on top of that, that's your bonus, just like an investment banker. Right? And I do this with my team every December so that we plan for the year ahead so they can know every month, how much do I need to sell conservatively to be able to hit my goal? So we want to do $100,000 next year, right? Okay, so let's say you sell 5 million in total on your own. Okay, your split is 50% with the house. Okay, the average commission split is 3%. So 3% of 5 million is 150,000, which isn't going to cut it. Right? Because half of that would be 75,000 in your pocket. So we need to go a little bit higher. Let's go to $7 million in sales total for the year times 0.03 on average. Okay, that's 210. That'll be close enough. Divided by 2, 50% with the house, that's 105,000. So just to be super specific, right? That means that next year, your goal is roughly $580,000 a month in sales. So that means if you do one house, one apartment for 1.2 million, that's 2 months of sales quota towards your goal. All right. Now listen, some deals you're going to be at 2.5% and not 3%. Some deals you're going to team up with someone else in the team or another broker, and you'll have to split that 50% commission that you're going to take. Some deals are going to be much, much bigger. You might do one $10 million deal, and that's going to take care of your entire year's goal, but that doesn't mean you can slack. That means that next year is just going to be that much harder. You have to work that much more. So that's your number. $580,000 in sales per month gets you to roughly $7 million in sales for the year, which conservatively, looking at it in a very, very, very flexible basis, you will make at least $100,000 next year. Everything on top of that, all the other deals you'll do with the team, other people that you'll meet, all the little bonuses, stuff you and I even work on together, that's your bonus above that. We'll sit down again in December, we'll make sure you hit it, and then we'll double it from there.
Cool, I like it. I'm excited. I think it's a good structure. This is super helpful, so thanks.
Awesome. Any questions?
Yeah, so I'm really excited, but let's say I'm falling behind on my goals after a few months. What are we gonna do?
So, good question. Remember that goals are just that, right? They're not rules. These are goals that we want to make sure are not unrealistic. So you did 50,000 last year. We're not saying you're going to do 250 this year. That would be great, but we're not going to set that as a goal because it's just going to be too unattainable. There's no way you're going to know how to get there. It's just too big of a jump. But then the year after that, we'll try to go to 200, then 400, and so on. But if you're, let's say it's March or April, and you haven't sold anything, right? Then you and I should sit down, and you should sit down by yourself as well, and maybe adjust the goal. The way we should look at it is by July 1. So within the first 6 months of the year, if we look at the numbers and we really think you're not going to hit the goal, by July 1, you sit down and you readjust. Because you don't want to spend the next 12 months stressed out that you're not going to hit some number. Right? This isn't an investment bank, this is sales. And if the market tanks, if something happens, if housing becomes really, really slow, I don't want you to lose sleep. I want you to be excited and pumped every single day. And I want you to remember too that your job, right, is lead generation. You want to generate as many leads as possible. So maybe we'll look at your goal in a different way. If you haven't done as much business as we think you're going to do, by July 1, maybe we taper back that goal to $70,000, $75,000 in income, but we'll set up bigger goals for you in terms of how many prospects you're going to bring in every week or how many sales leads you're going to bring in every week. So the goal doesn't necessarily just need to be income, but I like to start the year focused on that income number because most agents don't. Then they run around with their heads chopped off like chickens and they have nowhere to think. And then they're like, oh, I didn't sell as much because they weren't working towards something finite.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's really helpful and appreciate you working with me on that. So
absolutely. So that's your number. Don't mess up.
Let's do it.